U.S. Farm Report on the road at the CHS Ag Industry Days is brought to you by Micro Essentials, balanced crop nutrition for higher yields, from the Mosaic Company.
Well, our marketing discussion this week on the road from CHS Ag Industry Day in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Chip Flory, host of AgriTalk, is leading that discussion, and he's joined by Dwayne Bussey of Bolt Marketing, Tommy Kristofi of Advanced Trading, and Tyler Shaw of agmarket.net.
Thank you, Tyne. Boy, as far as the markets are concerned, it was march in like a lion. Let's talk about it. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, guys, was the final spark that really has created a market dynamic, Tommy, that we've never seen before.
Yeah, we have to go back and look at history. Guys in this room are old enough to remember when Chernobyl erupted. That really moved the wheat market. And then we had, in '08, we blew up the wheat spreads. But we had a really bull fundamental before this coming in with just the drought in Canada, the drought here in North Dakota, and demand was good. We had so many bullish things happen. And you throw a war in there, and you think about what's happening in the world. On your show, I've listened to people throw out some high prices, and I kind of laughed. I'm not laughing anymore.
Right, very good. Dwayne, Tommy made the point. There was a bullish set of fundamentals even before Russia made the move into Ukraine. And when that move was made, another move to the upside.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were bullish going into this spring, thinking there was going to be a bullish acreage battle, right? Yeah. Because we have really high demand, we have tight stocks, a great setup, and then now we've got this uncertainty in Russia and Ukraine with their old crop and their soon-to-be planted new crop that we can't buy those bushels right now. Anyone who's interested in buying bushels, so those production bushels are just on hold, and we don't know when they're going to be freed up again.
Tyler, you've been out talking with your clients. What is their biggest concern when it comes to the Russia-Ukraine story?
The biggest concern is, one, how high does this thing go?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to convince them is we need to be looking at ways to manage it, put floors in. At some point, this thing's going to break. I don't know if anyone's smart enough to know when that is, and I don't want to throw out any guesses. So,
well, let's go to the senior member of the panel then. How do you tell when the high comes in?
How do you know when the high's in? I watch the options market, and you have to watch the spread. So we watch May, July, September. You go through every single month. And again, if people are looking at their phones or app, they think the front months are so high. But if you look into 22, 23, 24, those markets are actually collapsing as these front months rally. So the high will be in. I can answer that on live TV. The high will be in when the last short covers. And when that happens, there won't be any bids there, and we'll go limit down for a few days.
Right, but Dwayne, it takes time to prove that the high is in.
Oh, it does take time, but to Tommy's point, the last couple of days, actually open interest was down in the wheat market. And when the open interest is down, that means there is shorts probably covering. There wasn't new buyers coming in, so we might be closer to that than we think.
So how much attention do you have to pay to volume? I know we're kind of getting into the deep weeds of day-to-day analysis of these markets right now, but volume is so important to the analysis.
Well, yeah, volume's important too. If you see a volume spike on a spike move, there was a lot of futures exchanging hands, right? That might mean, like Tommy said, guys who are short and margin called up blowing out of it. And to his point, when that last short gets out, then the high's in.
Okay, Ukraine shipping is basically shut down. Customers are refusing to buy product out of Russia. It's the timeline, Tyler. It's how long this lasts. The Senate was briefed that this could be a 10-year affair. If that's what it turns into, this is going to be a factor for these markets for years to come.
Yeah, well, the markets, markets don't like uncertainty. There is a ton of uncertainty. We know they're not going to start shipping grain out of the Ukraine anytime soon, years. And what country is going to go in and buy wheat from Russia right now?
Right.
So, there's a lot of production, 30–40% of the world production sitting there.
Dwayne, it could be very telling what countries go buy wheat from Russia right now, because what if it's China?
Oh, right. Other countries probably are worried to buy anything from Russia, including wheat or crude oil, because there might be sanctions on it afterwards, too. So, right now, this week, we had some old crop U.S. flash sales of corn, right? And to me, that's the bigger story. Ukraine has already shipped a lot of wheat. They have a lot of corn that's trapped there right now, and I think that's corn that China bought.
Right. The demand issue, Tommy, it's almost like a drought in South America doesn't happen until the demand shows up in the U.S. Disruption of shipments out of the Black Sea don't happen until the demand shows up in the U.S., right?
It's incredible. I mean, we're one of the only games in town. We went from, oh, everyone's growing grain and selling it to we're it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of a unique position for us to be in, Tyler.
I've only been in this business a few years. It's the first time in 2, I can tell you that much. It's been a long time since we've been the only player in the wheat market.
Yeah, yeah, and for spring wheat, U.S. spring wheat, to be the cheapest wheat in the world after the short crop that we had this last year, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Let's talk about planting intentions and what to expect from the acreage mix when we come back with more U.S. Farm Report in just a moment.